So we messed up everything, right? But you should learn about lerp vector, lerp float. You should learn about timeline. You should learn about how you can animate camera, how you can animate whatever that we have in detail panel. For example, in here, we can animate everything with lerp and timeline, right? So you learn a lot. If you understand everything till now, you learned a lot. Congratulations. So no, let's see what we are missing. If you play our game, you can see we can zoom, we can aim, but we are not firing, right? Our gun is not firing when we hit left mouse button. So let's just do that now. For that, first of all, like always, go to project setting, and in input in project setting, in here we have jump, run, aim, but we want to add another one that is called fire. Okay, fire, or whatever you want to call it, it will be okay. And now with the left mouse button or right trigger on your joystick, right? So in here, we click in here and we hit left mouse button and it choose left mouse button for us. And now we can close this project setting. And in here, we can search for that fire, okay? The action event. And now in here, when we can add some, for example, print a string in here to make sure that it is for working fire shot, okay? Now if we compile and run, whenever we hit left mouse button, it says fire shot, but we don't want that. We want to play some animation for when we are shooting something, right? So one way to do it is just play animation in here, but as you know, it's not the best idea to do that in here. The best thing to do in here, first of all, let's just find the animation. Go to character, go to heroes, go to Murdoch animation, and let's just search for fire to see if there is something out there. There is fire fast. Let's just double click on it. I'll put it in here, and you can see this will work for us. Let's just pause the animation. You can see this animation fire one time, and that's more than enough for us. And how we want to do it, there is a lot of way to do it. Just there is a lot of way, but the best way to do it is with animation montage. So in this video, we're gonna learn animation montage. So for that, if we go to our animation folder in this fire fast that we find, you can see at the right of it, there is a fire fast montage in here, but I don't want that. I want to delete that. So now we want to create a animation montage from this fire fast, right? This animation that we have in here. So what is the animation montage? Animation montage is just like an animation sequence, but it will give us a lot of options. For example, when we want to add some wave to our character or shoot something or do whatever we want, for example, jump, whatever you want, you can do it with animation montages. And the cool thing about the animation montage is that you can fire that animation montage in your blueprint class, in your BP third person character in this case. Okay, you don't need anymore to create a variable in here and get it in animation blueprint, and after that, according to that variable, play some animation. Okay, you can just play it over here. So let's just create our animation montage. You can just right click on whatever animation you want. Right now we want to fire or gun. So right click on your animation that is fire fast, go to create and click on create an anim montage. Okay, and it will create anim montage and it call it fire fast montage. Okay, this asterisk, it means that it's not saved, so we can right click on it and save it. After that, double click on it to open it. And now we are in anim montage. You can see everything is like animation sequence. It's just like an animation. But there is a lot more to it. For example, the anim slot manager, and you can see there is a lot of slots right now in here because we download this Murdoch from from marketplace and it has some animation montages in it, but I want to show you how you can do it for yourself. So first of all, what is this slot? This slot, we can use it to tell it where in our animation blueprint we should play this animation. So for example, let's just create one. For example, I want to add a slot. Click on add a slot, and in here I want to call it fire weapon. Okay, fire weapon, and it will go down to fire weapon in here. Okay, this is the one that we create. There is a lot of them, don't worry about them, it's just came with this character, but this slot we just create. No, let's just pause this animation. So no, we should tell this animation montage to use this fire weapon slot that we just create. So for that we can go here in here, you can see, click in here and tell it to choose a slot, and I want to go down and choose fire weapon slot that we just create. Okay, now you can see the default. If I bring this out a little bit, you can see it is in default group. You can see the default group and it is fire weapon. Okay, so this is a slot that we can use it to tell it where to play this animation. Right now you can see it mess up our animation, but it's like a bug in Unreal Engine. If you save it, close it and open it again, it's exactly the same. The only change that we made, we create a slot in here, we call it fire weapon, and we set it for our slot by clicking in here and choose our fire weapon slot. Now, if I open the animation blueprint, it is in content. Let's just go to here, and this is our animation blueprint. And in here, we can tell it where to play this fire weapon. Okay? So no, where do you think we should play that? So in here, where we should put that slot. For example, let's just put it in here to see what will happen. Right click in here and search for montage. Okay, and it will give you a slot, default slot. Okay, just put it in there, and if you click on it, it will let you to choose a slot name in here. Right now, at default, it is default slot, but we can change it to fire weapon, the slot that we create, right? So now with that, we can put it in here, okay, like this. And if we compile it, it will be added to our animation. But right now, it won't play, right? At default, it won't play. We should play it in our character class. So now with that, this slot is in here. Now if we go to our character class, whenever we hit leftmost button, we want to play montage. Okay, play any montage, and in here it will tell you which anime montage you want to play. Just click in here and choose the Firefast montage. And because in this Firefast montage that we create, we define a slot and we put that slot in our animation blueprint, it knows where to play it. Now with just that, let's just compile and run our game. And if we hold right mouse and hit left mouse button, you can see now we can shoot our weapon. Do you see any problem in here? Do you see any problem? There is a problem always. Right now, because we are looking forward, the animation is playing cool. But if we go to left, if we hit leftmost button, you can see it's not working fine. So what is the problem? If we go to animation montages, you see at the beginning of this animation in this course, I told you go from left to right, not top to down, because it's easier to understand, right? So in this way that we create stuff, whatever that is in right, we will override whatever that is in left. So for example, this aim offset will happen first. So we are aiming in here. And in right side of that, there is a slot fire weapon that it will fire weapon like this. So this fire weapon will override when we aimed. We aim here, but that slot will make us to do it like this and again go back there. So what we can do about that, we can put this slot at the left side so it won't override over aim offset. So for that, I want to select all of these, bring it a little bit to the left, and I want to cut this with Control X and connect these to here. And now I want to paste it in here, the slot fire weapon. Now let's just connect these to here. Connect these to here. Right now, this slot fire weapon will override whatever that is in this side, in left side of that, but it won't have any effect on whatever that is playing on the right side of that. So let's just compile and run our game now. Again, it's playing our animation, right? But if we go to left, again it will work, right? So it's not overriding our animation, and doesn't matter which aim offset that we have, it works fine, right? No fire weapon animation is working fine.